All right, so just a reminder, you guys have a test tomorrow. If you're a B-Day student and you come to class, you're going to be taking it in class. If you're remote, you're going to be taking it online. So be prepared for that. We're going to start with our review. I'm going to teach you by hand, and then we will go from there. So the very first one is just graphing. So we're going to graph each equation, and you guys need to take notes because you're just going to upload these notes into your assignment for today. So you do need to take notes, all right? So we want to make sure that we graph it. So how do we graph this first equation? Start at -3. Do what? Up 1/1. And these are just straight lines. They're nothing crazy, no solid, no dash. That only happens with inequalities. So it looks like this. Then we graph the second one. Where does the second one start? +3.
Down 7.
Down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and over 1. So right there. That intersection is where your solution is. So what is that coordinate? What is that coordinate? -1, -4. That's it. That's your answer. That's all you do. Yep. But remember, you can also do it on Desmos, just typing it in. Okay, so I'm going to show you that too. So I'm going to do a couple by hand and then a couple on Desmos. So I'm going to leave number 2 for Desmos. And then I'm going to go to number 3. How do I graph this first one? Go up to 4. How do I move? Up 2/1 or down 2/1. Again, all of these, sorry about that point, all of these are solid. There's no dashed. Okay. How do I graph the other one? Start at 1 and then go up 2/1. What kind of lines do I have? Not perpendicular, but parallel. If they don't cross, what happens? What's your answer? Not 0, but no cross, no solution. No cross, no solution. All right, so if I wanted to do number 4 by hand, and I really don't, that's one I would definitely do on Desmos. Okay. If I had to do number 4 by hand, the first thing I would have to do is solve for y. So how do I solve for y? Move what? Move x. And then divide the number of y. So I'm going to do your first one. Do your first equation. How do I move x? Look at it. Minus x. Bring down your whole -2y. You have a -x and a -4. How do you finish solving? Divide everything by -2. Watch your signs. I get y equals negative over negative makes a positive 1/2 x. -4 divided by -2 is positive 2. I start at 2. I go up 1 and over 2. There's my first line. I'm going to solve the second one. What do I do to solve it? You're right. Minus 3x. Bring down your whole 2y equals a -3x and a -4. Last step to solve for y. I get y equals -3/2 x minus 2. -4 over 2 is -2. Start at -2. Go down 3 and over 2. Or go up 3 and over 2, which is this point right here. And what is that coordinate right there? What is that coordinate? Not 2, but look at it. -2, 1. That's literally all you do. Okay, ready to go? All right. I'm going to switch my screen in just a second. Give me a minute. Stop. Go away. And I'm going to show you Desmos for these. I'm actually going to go back to the fraction one that we skipped on number 2. So on number 2, all you have to do is type it in. Remember that. Just like you see it, y equals 7/3, but make sure you go over to put the x in, plus 4. So there's your graph of your line. And then you're going to do your second one, y equals 1/3. Make sure you move over x minus 2. And then if you guys look, it shows a little point. And what is that coordinate? Can you see it? It's light in here. Zoomers, what's your coordinate? -3, -3. -3, -3. It's just hard to see. Any questions? All right, so if we go to number 5, that's the only other one graphing we haven't done. We can do that as well. We don't have to do anything. That's the beauty of Desmos. 5x minus 4y equals -12. There's that equation. X plus 2y equals -8. There's that equation. And then we just go to where they cross. -4, -2. All right, so I'm going to stop this share and go back to my other one. Guys, Desmos will do this whole test for you, this whole test, okay? So if you'll use Desmos, you'll be fine. If we're solving by substitution, I just want to remind you what we did. We took this function because it's y equals, and we plugged it in for y. There are parts on the EOC that you cannot use your calculator. So you do not have to do it. You have to do it by hand, okay? So you have to know how to do it. So we're going to plug it in and we get -4x minus 6, but instead of y, we're going to put in x plus 13. Finish out your equation equals 2. You need to distribute your -6. So -4x minus 6x. What is 13 times -6? -78? Yes, no, maybe? Yeah. Equals 2. How do I solve now? Okay. -4x minus 6x minus 78 equals 2. How do I solve? Perfect. Plus 78. I get -10x equals 80. Divide by -10. And I get x equals -8. That's not all I need to do though. I need x and y, right? So find your easiest equation, which is probably the bottom one. And we're going to put that x in up here. So y equals, our x is -8 plus 13. -8 plus 13 is? -8 plus 13 is? 5. What is your coordinate answer? That's the multiple choice answer that you're going to see. -8, 5. All right. Y'all good? All right. Let me stop the share. We're going to go back to Desmos. Kirsten, you just missed some review, but it's being recorded so you can check it out later. Not a big deal. Make sure that you're taking notes so you can turn this in. Okay, you have to turn some stuff in for your review today. So I'm just going back and forth between Desmos to show you guys how to do it by hand and then Desmos. So on number 7, if you look at 7, we're just going to type it in 3x plus 2y equals 16. The second equation, y equals 5x minus 5. And then where they cross is your solution. What is that solution? 2, 5. It's just hard to see. 2, 5. Any questions? Is everybody okay? I feel like you'll use Desmos the whole time, right? I hope so. Okay. So same thing on the next ones, and I'm just going to go through number 11. So check out number 11. I'm going to switch back again. I don't care which way you solve it, y'all. I don't care. Usually on your test, you don't. Okay. Have you not already showed me your work on all your homework? It's because you haven't done all of it. Right? Okay. All right. So on this one, for elimination, remember we see two variables that are the same. So these two x's, one is positive, one's negative. So we cancel it out. Remember, this is how you do it by hand. You can do it on Desmos. I don't care. Okay. I'm not taking your test with you. You'll be fine. Then we add it just like a regular addition problem. 3y plus 2y, negative 28 minus 22. Yeah. Negative 50. We're going to divide by 5. And y equals negative 10. You plug that negative 10 back into one of the equations. It does not matter which one. I'm going to use the second one. So we get 2x plus 2 times negative 10 equals negative 22. We get 2x, 2 times negative 10 is negative 20 equals negative 22. Add 20. We get 2x equals negative 2. We're going to divide by 2. And x equals negative 1. So your coordinate answer is negative 1, negative 10. Again, you can also do it through Desmos. Is everybody good? All right. We're going to flip it. 13, 14, and 15 you can do through Desmos. 16 through 20, I think, are word problems. All of them are word problems. As long as you can set it up, you can use Desmos. Okay? As long as you can set it up, you can use Desmos. So this one says the sum of two numbers is 24. How do I write that?
X plus y equals 24.
X plus, perfect. X plus y equals 24. X plus y equals 24. Their difference is 4. How do I write that? What's difference mean? X minus y is 4. So how do we find the numbers? I'm going to show you by hand, and then the bigger ones we'll set up on Desmos so you can see some of those, okay? Our y's will cancel out. We have x plus x and 24 plus 4. We solve it by dividing by 2, and we do get x is 14. Choose whichever equation you want to. X minus y equals 4 or smaller numbers. It doesn't matter either way. X is going to be 14. How do I solve? 14 minus y equals 4. How do I solve? Got it. What am I solving for? What's on the same side but not with it? 14. How do I get rid of a positive 14? Perfect. Minus 14. Make sure you bring down the negative y. 4 minus 14 is negative 10. How do I make it a positive y? How do I make this positive? How do I get rid of the negative? divide by -1. And I get y is +10. So your coordinate answer is 1410. They might have 1014 on this. They won't have it both ways. So just be ready. All right, so now I want to look at one of the bigger ones. Let's set them up. Try to keep this up so you guys can see it. Let's set them up and then we'll use Desmos. So Elisa and Aaliyah are selling pies for a school fundraiser. Consumers can buy cherry pies and lemon meringue pies. Remember, these are the ones that I use the letters so that you guys know what it is. Elisa sold 12 cherry pies and 10 lemon meringue pies for a total of $274. How do I write that? Okay, nope. I'm not going to use X. What am I going to use? She sold 12 what? Let's see. Plus? For a total of? Okay. Aaliyah sold 12 cherry pies and 3 lemon meringue pies for a total of $141. How do I write that? Now, the only thing is that Desmos will not do C and L. It has to do X and Y. And as long as you remember, so like you do this, you will know that X is for cherry and Y is for lemon meringue. Okay, y'all got that? Because it's going to ask you, it says each 1 cherry and 1 lemon meringue. What it'll do on the final exam is ask you how much would it cost for 2 cherry pies and 3 lemon meringue pies. So then you would have to do some work with those numbers. Okay, so be ready for that. So I'm going to stop this share, go back to Desmos. And look at these. They're just bigger numbers. There's nothing any different. So 12x plus 10y equals 274. And then 12x plus 3y equals 141. Now, what do you notice?
I'll see that.
Why don't you see anything?
It's off the chart.
Okay, so what do I do?
Hit the plus.
You do what?
So,
How do you make it zoom? What do you do?
I think it's behind your face.
It is behind my face.
That's what I was talking about.
Perfect. So hit the minus to zoom out. And then you're looking for the coordinate where they cross and look at it. What is it? 719.
Oh,
So you can do it. You just got to zoom out. You just got to zoom out. Okay. So if you have bigger numbers, zoom out. Do I need to do any more of those? Zoomers, are you good? Do I need to do any more of those? I can do 19. Stop this share. Sorry, y'all. I think there's an easier way, but I don't know it. But it's okay. All right. Sarah Wong and Stephanie are selling flower bulbs for a school fundraiser. Customers can buy packages of tulip bulbs and packages of crocus bulbs. Sarah Wong sold 2 packages of tulip bulbs and 3 packages of crocus bulbs for a total of 63. How do I write that? Okay, so I'm going to do T for tulip and C for crocus for a total of 63. Don't use the same variable. Then it says Stephanie sold 12 packages of tulips and 12 packages of crocus. So 12 tulips, 12 crocus for a total of 276. This one doesn't have anything you can mark out, so it's one of the harder ones. So we're going to check it out on Desmos instead. Don't talk crap. I'm gonna put my first one in, 2x plus 3c equals 63. Oh, sorry, I should have told me. Plus 3y. That's what happens when you put a c in. I did that right. 2x plus 3y equals 63. 12x plus 12c or 12y equals 276. So because I zoomed out, I can still see that it's 617. That's literally all you do. So the only difference in 16 through 20 is you have, like, that's going to be the same way on your test. You just have to write the equation. That's it. All right. I'm going to switch back. And then we're going to graph inequalities, which is what we did on Friday and Monday. Okay, so to do an inequality, remember this tells us where to shade and if it's solid or dashed. What is this one going to be? Solid or dashed?
Dashed.
Dashed, because it doesn't have an equal mark. So what I would do is check all your multiple choice first, and anything that's not dashed, go ahead and mark it out. Process of elimination. You might get the answer just by doing that. Okay. Then we have a start at -5, go up 1 and over 2. You said it was dashed. And then how do we figure out where we shade?
By time.
What do you mean?
With.
What have we been plugging in?
The alligator mouth.
But what have we been plugging in?
Oh, my.
Nope. Guys, what do we plug in to figure out where to shade? Zoomers?
0.
0, 0. Perfect. Thank you. So plug in 0, 0. Again, because my graph does not go through it. If it went through it, I couldn't choose 0, 0. I'd have to choose something else. I'm going to plug that into our inequality. So I get 0 is greater than 1/2 times 0 minus 5. What's 1/2 times 0?
0.
Minus 5.
-5.
Is 0 greater than -5?
Yes.
So we shade 0, 0. 0, 0 is over here. That's it. That's all you do. Let's do number 24. Is number 24 solid or dashed?
Solid.
What kind of line is this? Y is less than or equal to 2.
It's flat.
Horizontal at
2.
2, where y equals 2. It was solid, so we made it solid. And then this sign says,
That 2 is better than 1.
so where do I shade?
Up. Down.
Yeah. Remember, we can plug in 0, 0 because it doesn't go through it, but the only 0 we have is the y. Is 0 less than 2? Yes, it is. So we shade there. Or it's a less than, so we shade below. Okay. If you do it on Desmos, I'm going to do number 22 on Desmos. So y, remember, to find your greater than or equal to, they're underneath that little keyboard right there. So y is greater than or equal to 1/2, -1/2 x. So it's a solid line and it's shaded on the top. Everybody good? All right, show you one more of these on Desmos. Y is greater than -2/3 x plus 5. So this is number 23. You can see that it's dashed and shaded above. You just got to match that with a graph. Is everybody good? All right, a couple more things. If we're doing inequalities, systems of inequalities, you can graph them both in your calculator, or you can graph them both on Desmos. So now I'm looking at 26. 26 says y is greater than or equal to x plus 1. And then you put your second one in as well. Y is greater than negative 1/3 x minus 3. And then what part of this matters?
The dark green.
Yeah, the dark green part. This part up here matters. Y'all have any questions? Desmos pretty easy, right? Y'all good? All right, make sure you know how to type it in. I'm gonna stop sharing, stop recording.